Hey everyone, it's another week, another episode. It's going to be a tougher topic. Um, so I'm going to be a big chicken and let you see beautiful footage of the countryside in a nice, gentle drive in beautiful North Carolina instead of my face. And yeah, I'm going to hide behind the curtain and we're going to talk about something deep. If you've been watching from the beginning, you know that I had quite a few topics in mind that I plan to record throughout time. And originally, I was thinking once a month. We're going once a week, and I don't see any sign of that stopping. Um, this one, when I wrote down the topic, I really didn't know how relevant it was going to be so soon. So, the idea of talking to your kids about, wow, that hurt, about things like that, or how you can't remember their names sometimes when you're trying to talk to them and it goes for minutes, or how you can't pick them up because your arm is freaking useless because of a stupid flare, or daddy tripped coming up the stairs because of drop foot, or daddy fell asleep when you asked him to come play with you. It's a tough topic. um, I see a lot of people on the MS forums talking about the lament they have for these situations. I, if you've watched the other videos, I do try to put a positive spin on everything, but this one is kicking my butt. It's tough. Uh, Talking to a 6-year old, a 5-year old, and a 1-year old, it's already hard enough. Like, what do you do when your 1-year old comes up to you, arms up, wants to be picked up and have fun, and your arm's not working, or you're in such excruciating pain? You're concerned, like let's say tremors are high, and the you've got limbs going weak, and you're concerned that you're going to drop your 1-year old. Uh, all those things are factors all the time for somebody with MS, I think, at least for a lot of people with MS. The the tremors, the spasms in the muscles, all firing at the same time. I'm sorry, this is really flaring up. I think I'm coming up on the end of a set of meds here. Just feeling a little weird, and pain, lots of pain. But that's okay because we do this every day, right? This is just an opportunity for you guys to see it a little, unplugged behind the curtains. So those situations come up for me. I got 3 kids, as I mentioned, 6, 5, and 1. Um, and they're starting to ask more questions like, Daddy, why'd you fall asleep? I thought you were going to play with me. Daddy, why's your arm not working? Daddy, your eyes are looking funny. Daddy, only half your face is working. That was really interesting. They were great. Kids are resilient. And I'm muddling my way through this just like any of us. So I just tell them, like, Daddy got hit with just all the sleepies all at once. Uh, Daddy's arm just decided to quit working. I refer to it in a kind of like a computer or a car. I don't know, for some reason the wipers aren't working today. That's kind of the way it is. It's like having an old cantankerous car, maybe with Lucas Electrics too. If anybody knows about European automotive wiring, they'll know what I'm talking about there. Uh, I will say that is encouraging. So far, the kids are great. There's gonna be the day where I'm gonna really let them down, and I know it's coming. I've already done it a few times, but It's going to be big and it's going to be loud. And I'm going to have to explain that Daddy didn't have any choice in that matter in a way that's going to make sense. And that's just with where I'm at right now. There's always the future. What else could go wrong between now and prom? Now in a wedding. Now in graduation. Now in first date where I'm going to be spying with a sniper rifle on her freaking boyfriend, right? Got to make sure at least one eye's working for that one. Don't, and if future boyfriends, if you're watching, I'll find a way. It'll happen. If not, I've got friends that will happily do it for money. Anywho, I digress. We're talking about how to talk to your kids about having MS. And the truth is, it's tricky. It's so tricky. You don't, I mean, I can't, maybe there's a way, but I don't talk to them about things like autoimmune diseases or how it exists in the world or anything like that. I'm more existential and pragmatic in that I just tell them, hey, I describe the symptoms to them. I just say, Daddy's arm just started really hurting and acting funny. And they seem to go with that. It's really good. I mean, they give me a quizzical look, like clearly they don't have a frame of reference for this. But one of the things I'm trying to watch out for is just because I'm dealing with this doesn't mean that it's something about life that they can expect when they get older. You don't want them fearing the day that their arm just goes. It's not gonna. I mean, sorry, somebody's gonna find that offensive, but it's okay. I know somebody with MS. Uh, but the, these are things that if I was told as a kid that grown-ups, my only frame of reference for grown-ups is this happens to your body, I'd be petrified. So trying to watch out for that. So you kind of say, yeah, Daddy's arm's acting funny. Don't worry, it's just one of those weird things that Daddy's arm does. Doesn't happen to everybody. Then they kind of wonder, well, why is Daddy special? But we'll get to that. And that's kind of the thing right now with my kids at a young age. I try to keep in mind we will get to that eventually. Uh, how we do that, I have no idea. But I'm open to suggestions. If anybody's got any ideas, please drop them in the box. I'm sure there are people out there that have had far worse symptoms than I have and that have muddled through and done very well and can speak to how their kids, who are of varying ages, like at different stages, toddler to young adult to whatever, just give me the rundown. Like, how did it work here? How did it work there? And I realize, and I hope everybody else realizes, there's no one size fits all, but sharing experiences has been a common theme of this, and I want to keep that going. So if you could share some experiences with me, I would love to learn from them because this is going to get tricky. My my girls are sharp. My son, he's not talking really yet, but you can just see it. He's an earth shaper, so that's going to be interesting. Um, there there's going to be a day where they're going to be like, yeah, but why, Daddy? Why does it hurt so bad that you can't hold me? Why does it feel? Why do you feel so sleepy all of a sudden that you miss things important in my life? I'm gonna get cornered, and it's not just kids. I mean, you gotta think about spouses too. Like, what do you tell your wife when you suddenly have to cancel plans because you're toast? You can't move, or if you could move, you'd look drunk as a skunk, and it just wouldn't be socially acceptable. These are real situations that people deal with when they have different autoimmune disorders, especially MS, though. I will say, again, the upside. There seems to be understanding. You don't have to hide it and stay in a shell. Now, don't get me wrong, there are jerks out there. They're 100 times louder than the non-jerks, so they stand out, and you think, oh, well, that's what everybody's thinking. That's not the case. Everybody's curious, concerned, confused, usually, mostly confused, but at least I think they care. They seem to. I'm going with that. I mean, if somebody says they care or they're acting in a way that they care, just why not assume that's the case? So, Daddy has MS. I haven't had to have this talk yet. I do have some ideas of how I'd like it to go. It'll probably be one on one. I'm not one for family meetings or stuff like that. And so, rather pull each one aside and say, hey, you remember that time? And get specific. That time that, yeah, I'm not going to bring up any more personal examples. But connect the dots. Give them tangible experiences that you know they remember, and then say, here's what the mechanics of that were, and answer questions that they might have. If they don't believe you, I don't know what to say. I'm just really hoping they believe me. So I'm trying to live my life in a way that they know that I will tell them the truth no matter what. No matter what. So that they don't question me when I tell them questionable things that are true, that are still true. So one-on-ones, not the group thing. Specifics. Hope. It's a line from A Knight's Tale, but love letters should always end with hope. And it's a beautiful concept. So if you think of each time you communicate with somebody you love as a love letter, you give it the framework, introduction, body, and then the end it with hope. So I will tell the girls and Charles, Daddy's struggling. It's a bear. It can hurt like the dickens. It's interfering with life. But it might get better. And even if it doesn't get better, there's still stuff I can do. There's still things that I will be there for. There are still times that even when the symptoms get terrible, they can be overcome, especially with their help. If you include them, I think that might have some good payoffs toward the end. So hope. End with hope. Well, if I'm talking to people I love, and if I am assuming that it's a love letter every time, then I would say that these videos are love letters. So what say we find some hope here to end on? We've got an opportunity right now with COVID and things still being pretty well closed to really build a good, strong family foundation for this world, for this society, for this country, yada yada yada. It's been terrible, but it's been a unique opportunity as well. You've got your kids at home, they're doing homeschooling at least a little bit. It's time with your kids to bond and build relationship. Uh, that's how they're going to connect with you over time later. They're going to build on these blocks. And what do you want your your family structure to look like in 15 years? You can build it right now. And I want mine to be one where when MS decides to be an absolute dick, I'm not fighting alone. I'm not fighting alone. I'm not fighting alone. I'm fighting with my kids, with my wife, with my extended family. And it doesn't get every one of my days. That's what I want mine to look like. What do you want yours to look like? I think it's time to end. What do you want yours to look like? What do you want your conversation with your kids when you describe to them what MS looks like to look like? Do you want them to be receptive? Do you want them to believe you? Do you want them to take you seriously? If so, now's the time, I think. What do I know? I'm just a podcaster. But now's the time to build that foundation of trust and truth and understanding and collaboration so that dividends are there in the future. And that's it for tonight. It was a tough topic. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm not going to lie. You got a nice drive through the country, or at least a little bit of the country in North Carolina, because this topic is so hard for me. I've done about 20 different takes of this already. Each one of them involved crying. So I'm just going to hide behind the scenery this whole time and let you guys have a good experience. If you want me to cry on camera next time, yeah, I'm pretty open. As I said in the first episode, I'll answer any question. So if you answer what Chase looks like while he's crying, yeah, I can provide that answer. Thank you. Have a good night.